Welcome to episode 5 of Rays franchise. I'm a little out of sorts here. I'll get to that in a second. I apologize for anybody who's keeping along, and there was a bit of delay. Just had some life things going on, but then also some technical issues, which I should be better at. But I guess learning pains and things like that. I lost my... I'm pretty sure I was recorded 2 more episodes out, to be perfectly honest with you. And... but here we are, and I lost the recording somehow. I don't know if I just didn't send the files, or anyways, not gonna bore you guys. So we're quite a bit into the 2023 season, and the last video I believe was pretty much just off-season, or what was supposed to be my last video was supposed to just be off-season recap, and then I think I played out the opening day game, which now I don't have. So sorry about that. Probably actually gonna crop it in so you guys can't see the date and the record and things as of right now, because I'm just gonna go off-season recap. And which is kind of crazy because I already know how some of this is planned out. So again, really sorry about this. I will obviously not make that mistake again in the future. But anyways, so we're here, November 2022. This is crazy. It's been a while since I even, since I played this part. It's been a few weeks, so I'm behind. I'm gonna try to catch up in my head. But we'll go through it quickly because I'm already ahead and I want to get to the new stuff, I know this is all new for you, so sorry about that. But anyways, okay. November 9th, I traded for Andrew Vaughn. I got rid of Cameron Misner, who is actually having a pretty okay year, pretty average year for the White Sox. My scout, well, at the time was a little bit less high on him. And I got Andrew Vaughn in return. A lot of years of team control. I needed a first baseman, and he definitely had a lot of potential at the time. My scout really thought highly of him. Although kind of sad at this point in the season. I guess I'll just show you guys. He's been in AAA the whole year. He did not make the opening day roster, and he's been struggling pretty mightily in AAA. So far, as you can see. So not great, but again, he's 25, so he's a little bit on the older side for a prospect, but 2 option years left, and he's got a lot of years of team control, so hopefully he turns it around. And I obviously didn't give away a huge amount. I did give away a major league ready player, it seems as though, in Misner, who was actually just the 1-for-1 deal for Joey Wendle in real life. So essentially I just swapped Joey Wendle for Andrew Vaughn. So I still don't feel, even though I kind of see into the future now a little bit from this kind of interesting perspective, after going through the trade and talking about it from what I remember in the first time I recorded this, thinking it was a lot better of a deal. I was really excited, Andrew Vaughn, but he's struggling, but I'm not losing out hope. I don't think that trade was a loss already. I did end up bringing back Mike Zunino, on just a 2-year club option. So not a huge, $8 million is a bit of a steep price tag. I just didn't feel like I couldn't really find another catcher that could really fill the gap. So I figured I'd go with him, just stick with the defense and hope that he didn't tank too far. And so far this year, pretty much about the same as last year, if not worse. He still has hit 15 home runs, so can't really complain about that. And then solid defense, as you can see, 1.2 zone rating. So yeah, pretty average. Still looking for a longer term replacement for Zunino. I did end up bringing back a ton of pretty much everybody. G-Man Choi's back, Renifo, Glasnow, Anderson, Mejia. Yandy's back for $8 million. Currently this year, it's not off to a great start. Definitely not as good as last year, and he's going to get way too expensive in arbitration. So I'm really thinking of him being a trade deadline move at this point. Harold Ramirez was pretty much the one that I let go. He's signed with the Angels organization. And then here was another big trade. Got rid of Brett Phillips, which would be sad for a lot of Rays fans. He's obviously just a great player, great for the clubhouse. Or I guess not great player. He's good. Don't get me wrong. Great defense. And it has a little bit of a pop. Good speed, lefty bat. But I got in return yet again, another trade that I'm not super high on as of right now. I was high at the time. I got Alec Burleson, 24-year-old right fielder, who at the time my scout was so high on him. I don't know. I guess I could have sworn he had a pretty high, scouting accuracy, but yeah, he's dropped off a good bit in terms of my scout. I mean, he's still got solid ratings, so I'm holding out hope for him. I was pretty much trading the defense of Brett Phillips to get some offense because that's what I really needed. If you remember from the first season, 2022, and although he started the year, I wanted him kind of as obviously corner, mostly DH, and I taught him first base in spring training. 6'2" frame, so I thought that would work. He was up for 30. He started 35 games and was not amazing. Pretty a decent bit below league average. So he got sent back to AAA, where he is crushing it right now in AAA. So he's probably going to get back on the team later. But you will see in just a little bit, somebody else kind of took that role and is running with it. But anyway, so we got rid of Brett Phillips, as you can see, who's having, just a standard Brett Phillips year so far with the Cardinals. And we also got rid of, we sent Sean Mullen over to the Cardinals, who they seem to have already moved to the Mariners. Okay starting prospect, or starting pitching prospect, not great movement. I was okay. He was already, 23, so not super young. So I was okay with moving him. Let's just see what he had for that trade. And he was just straight up released by the Cardinals. So, all right. The Mariners picked him up. But to ease the pain so far on the trade that doesn't look amazing, I did also get this 18-year-old left field prospect here, or just outfield prospect, Carlos Carmona, who looks pretty solid. He's not doing super well in rookie ball right now. Only 16 at-bats, though. But he's got a pretty solid profile. Okay defense, good defense, and okay bat, good speed. So you could definitely see him becoming something. So took a flyer on him. So we got the lottery ticket, and then also Burleson, who is underperforming as of right now. Let's keep going. December. So obviously Glasnow was able to start the year on the team, and he's playing pretty well. We'll get to that a little bit later. These are all just arbitration. We did let Kluber go because he ended up going to the Mets for $10 million, which is just too much. And again, with getting Glasnow back and having a healthy Patino, a healthy Baz, and obviously McClanahan, there wasn't a whole lot of room for him anyways. So I was okay seeing him go. $10 million was a little bit too steep of a price tag for a fragile 37-year-old starting pitcher. Obviously, great year last year, and he's off to a really good start for the Mets this year, but we were okay letting him go. This was the big one, which I gave a whole explanation, and I don't know if you saw, I made a post on Reddit. This was a while ago, so sorry about all of this, but we'll get back on track after this episode. We made a deal, and some may consider a very not Rays move, even though I tried to say that I came into this wanting to be somewhat realistic. We went out and we got Juan Soto from the Nationals. We wanted offense, so we got pretty much the best offensive player in the league in 24-year-old right fielder Juan Soto. We got them to retain 50% of his salary. He does have actually another year of team control after this, but it is expensive. So it might be a one-year rental. We might be able to get him back. I'm not so sure yet. He's already off to 4 WAR at this point of the season. And I guess at this point, if you haven't seen already, I'm at July 1st of 2023. So, and we're playing pretty well, 53 and 32. So just get that out of the way. I was going to try to be secretive, but it just make it more difficult. So, so we wanted offense. We got offense. At first, I wasn't thinking about making a massive move like this. I was going to try to just let the young guys develop, get better. But he was sitting out there. He wasn't even necessarily in the trading block. I was just messing around to see. Also, again, we'll go. Or I guess is it manager? I never know. I'm a professional, as you can see. AI settings. There we go. Trading difficulty. This is where I have it set. Halfway between middle and hard. I guess I technically have no way to prove to you that that's what it was set at when I made this trade. but I swear to you, that's what it was. We got, oops, let me go. So we'll go through what we got rid of. Our main piece, Josh Lowe. Obviously one of the top prospects in the Rays system. In real life, I have a lot of hope for him. I think he's currently struggling. We got sent back down to AAA. Kind of the same story last in an out of the park world. Didn't have a great year for me. Sent him down AAA, hoping to bring him back up, but he was just he was good in AAA, I guess, don't get me wrong, but never made it back onto the team that year. So he's actually the same age as Juan Soto. Actually, I think a little bit older. Obviously, a lot more years of team control since Soto got started a lot younger in his career in the major leagues. But I was okay trading off Josh Lowe to get Soto on the team. And as you can see, he's not doing amazing for the Nationals. I think it was still an okay return for the Nationals, just because, I could definitely still see him becoming a solid player, and I am rooting for him. We also got rid of Brett Wisely here, 24-year-old first base prospect. Could play a little second base, a little corner outfield, I believe. Okay, I mean, I could definitely see a major league player here, but nothing that was worth, not getting Juan Soto for. We also have, I don't want to even attempt the first name, but Basabe here, second base prospect. Again, could see him definitely becoming a major league player, but great speed too. And he's playing really well in their AA system, but again, not worth it to stop a trade for one of the best outfielders in the game. We also got rid of Nathan Wiles here, who is a starting pitching prospect, and he was definitely just kind of a filler throw in to help get them to take a little bit more of Soto's contract. But yeah, so we got the man, Juan Soto here. He is now batting at our number 2 spot. We moved Wander to lead off, actually, in a new role, and he's been playing well. And we also got Matt Cronin in return. Forgot about this. Just a solid reliever who's pretty much, he's major league ready. He hasn't come up yet. He's actually in high A. Really should probably have him higher than that. Let's throw him in AAA. But yeah, see him definitely being, so I was in a lefty. Can never have enough lefties because, sometimes they'll just disappear and it's hard to find a good one. So yeah, was happy with that trade. Can't really go wrong. We're definitely going to have to do some salary cap budget gymnastics to make it work to either bring Soto back, or I have no idea what the plan is there. I'm going to kind of take it as we go. But in the meantime, we got a superstar on the team. Anything else? We did trade Poche in February. Just kind of a 40-man, opening up a 40-man roster spot. We got Lolo Sanchez, who's a decent outfield prospect there from the Pirates. Anything else? We picked up a few. Let's see here. Okay. We'll start the year now. This was in April. To start the year, Patino was off to a great start after struggling last year. He made 4 starts for us. Only 17 innings pitched, but 208 ERA plus. Was pitching out of his mind, was thinking we had just probably the craziest starting rotation in baseball, but then he tore an elbow ligament and is out for the year. He's out for 8 months. So that was crushing, but we have a ton of starting pitching depth. I wasn't too worried about it. Chirinos came up, he struggled, sent him back down, and honestly, I'd have to double check who's in our lineup now. Oh, the other big thing too, Jacob Lopez, who made the 40-man this year. Really exciting pitching prospect, kind of came out of nowhere. Was very excited for him to possibly make a debut with the major league team this year, but he also ruptured a tendon in his finger. He's out for 6 more weeks. He's also, I guess, not doing so great in AAA. I guess only 6 innings pitched, and then he got hurt very early on. Let's see. Anything else? Fairbanks is pretty much out for the season as well, out for 6 months, bone chips in the elbow. He's going into arbitration. Probably, I think his ratings are starting to come. I mean, he still looks good, but he was starting to tank a little bit. So this might just kind of be the end of Fairbanks in a Rays uniform. May try to trade him, free up some, again, 40-man roster space. We signed a few arbitration players. Yeah, see, so here we go. So this was a big thing. We were able to sign a few veterans. Well, here, let's just go. We'll just go to the lineups now. So here's the look of the team right now in July. Again, there's a big jump. So we went from offseason prep all the way here to July 1st. And like I said earlier, Burleson was a big disappointment. Had to send him down. We ended up bringing up Curtis Mead, one of the top prospects in the Rays organization, number 67th prospect in baseball, to come and play first base because G-Man was struggling. And he's off to a great start in just 85 at-bats, hitting 271, 347, 565, 146 OPS plus. And so he might just be locking it down as he's just already inserted himself as our first baseman going forward. So very excited for that. G-Man, sad to say, we all love him, but probably his last year as a Tampa Bay Ray going into is this his contract year. Don't really see a huge need to bring him back, unfortunately. Yeah, so it's a little sad. Soto's leading the team at WRC plus at 166. Isaac Paredes is off to another great start. He played amazing last year, and really only playing a portion of the season. Still put up 2.3 WAR. 136 OPS plus, and he's hovering around the same part here, starting even more games for us this year, hovering around third base, DH, first base. Yeah, so then we got Wander, off to a great start, hitting 306, already putting up 3.2 WAR. He's leading off. I wasn't so sure about that, how he would work out. His infield range did go down, so not great as far as defensively for shortstop. So I don't know. That might be something going. I know how I said in the beginning, I would love to keep him at shortstop just because that's his position in real life, and I don't want to be super beholden to the meta of the game. But if it's starting to hurt, and I guess technically he's evening out. He's pretty, I guess, average defensively. So we might be looking for a shortstop maybe in the future. Move a Wander over to third base, and he could take the place of Yandy, who's going to get too expensive for us. But all right, moving on. Brandon Lowe coming back this year strong. Again, not obviously hitting for a great average or anything like that, but already hitting 26 bombs. He's on pace for 50. I don't think he's going to get there, but still, not complaining. He's on pace. He's already close to 2 WAR, so a lot better than he was last year, where he was just very middle of the road, just okay last year. He's already got more home runs in about 40 less games. He's got 6 more home runs than all of last year combined. So very excited for that. Obviously, he's on a very team-friendly contract. I mean, we'll have to see, I guess, when he gets to the later part of his contract here, just because Wander's contract is going to ramp up. So we'll have to see. But as of right now, I guess I'm talking about the here and now. This season, we're playing great. Francisco Mejia, again, providing us no defense. You've heard this a million times, but it's just great offense. And it's hard. He's been DHing a lot for us, a lot more than last year. So it's going to be hard. We're probably going to have to move him as well, though, because, he's estimated to make $8 million in arbitration, which I don't think I can give out for just a backup bad defensive catcher. Really just $8 million for a DH, really. So he's probably going to definitely be a good trade deadline piece. I think he's definitely going to be valuable to some other teams. Moving on to Manny Margot, holding it down, center field, playing great. Can't complain. He's doing exactly what is very Manny Margot-ish of him. A great defense and getting on base. So next up we have Lorenzo Kane, who I actually signed this just at the beginning of the year, kind of just picking through free agency because I didn't end up making a lot of signings, obviously more in the trade market. But how sometimes there are some that just, I guess it's a little tip. If you kind of wait out free agency, obviously a lot of the big names are going to be gone, but you might be able to find some deals coming when spring training is starting. And there was a few veterans out there that were kind of just asking for minor league deals. Nobody was really wanting them. So I threw a minor league offer, a minor league contract offer out to Lorenzo Kane, because why not? Couldn't help or wouldn't hurt to have some outfield depth. Wow, let me try that again. It wouldn't hurt to have outfield depth, especially at center field, where he's got great defense. He did have 70 range, but it's probably going down because he's getting up there in age. And so I wasn't expecting much, but moving around, the team a little bit, we had a spot open for him to come up in the team, and he's playing really well for what he's what he was expected to do. He's hitting .315. Obviously, this is only in 81 play appearances, but not complaining at all. He's above league average with the bat and providing some pretty good defense. So he is probably going to retire at the end of this year, but so playing just on a minimum contract, not complaining. So on to Yandy. As I said, he's been pretty disappointing, which kind of hurts, just because we were already planning on probably moving him, just because we knew his contract was going to get a little bit too expensive for us. But it does kind of stink him struggling, because that's kind of tanking his trade value a little bit. I'm sure he still will be valuable to a team, but I'm debating on whether or not to make the run with him this season, going for a championship, or do I try to? I'm definitely going to at least feel out, what's out there on the trade market, and we'll see. We also have Luis Renifo, just playing our kind of backup utility man, playing all over the place, and doing okay for when he's out there. Nothing amazing. G-Man Choi definitely been disappointing. He's kind of just hogging up a spot on the roster because he obviously doesn't have great defensive flexibility, but he's out of option years. I don't really want to waive him. Yeah, so he's kind of there. He might be a trade piece. I just don't see a ton of value from other teams in him. And then we have Zunino, already talked about, and then Brujan, who's just really just not doing well at all. So I hate to see it, because I really like him in real life. He's struggling in real life, but I really think he could turn it around. Obviously, still young, 25 years old, but he's already out of option years. And we do have, let's look here. We do have Xavier Edwards here, which is pretty much an exact replica of a player, and possibly even a little bit better. He's not playing tremendously well in AAA. I mean, I guess he's putting up some more, but that's definitely not solely coming from his bat. But so I was wondering, is it Xavier Edwards' time to make the call and kind of be a backup infielder? I don't know. And then we'll go to Randy here, who, as you can see, he's on a rehab assignment. Because if you look in the major leagues, he's just not doing well. He started off really cold. He turned it around in, I think it was May or June. But even that turning around just got him to 236 average and 98 OPS plus. So he got injured. What was it? I gotta remember. It was a concussion. So he was out for 2 weeks. But again, with the bat struggling, I put him on a rehab assignment, get his confidence back. He's playing well in AAA. But just a big disappointment where it just stinks. I was really hoping for Randy to break out and become a superstar on the team, which I think he could really be. He's on the cusp of in real life. But I don't see it. And it's sad, but he might be more just kind of a role player, kind of filler in in the outfield, or kind of rotation, instead of being like a centerpiece there in left field, which definitely stinks. But we'll see. Hopefully he can turn it around. Who we also have? Gentry, who I talked about in the last episode, didn't make the opening day roster. It's also struggling in AAA. So that trade not looking good. You guys are like, man, why are we watching you if you're just gonna fail all these trades, man? I swear they work out most of the time before, but not this up to this point. There's still hope in all of the trades, but up to this point, not much. Andrelton Simmons was another one of those veterans we signed to a minor league deal to possibly be some depth. Anybody else here? Like we already talked about Vaughn struggling. Taylor Walls never mind. I thought I remembered him destroying AAA somehow with these ratings, but he's not. So again, I mean, he's just infield depth. He might be a trade piece because I don't really see him making the team. All right, so I guess that's all for kind of. Oh, I guess we'll go to pitching real quick. Boz, incredible year. I mean, not much else to say. This looks nothing like you, Boz. Sorry. McClanahan, also incredible year. Cy Young candidate here. Yeah, he's destroying it. Glasnow, great year as well. He's the big thing of, man, do I move him because he's definitely going to have value, but also do I make the run with him for this rotation? I feel like it was a lot easier of a decision when we still had Patino, who was playing really well. But now with him down, do we want to keep Glasnow, he's an ace level player who's our third starter? That's how good our rotation is right now. So I mean, that's a three-headed beast right there. I mean, even you look at Drew Rasmussen, who is also just destroying. I mean, this the rotation is just it's got to be one of the best, if not the best in the league right now. I mean, he's on pace for almost a 4.5 WAR season, and he's our fourth starter. Obviously, the fifth starter has kind of been rotated around a bit. We tried out Trinos, who was struggling, Yarborough struggling. So now we've settled on Brendan McKay right now, and he's playing really well himself. So, I mean, we have depth, and so I think it would be not wise to at least just shop around Glasnow, see what we can do, maybe fill in a hole somewhere else, maybe offensively. But also his contract's up. He doesn't want a crazy extension. Sometimes he wants like a 7-year extension, which we're just not going to do. I would be okay maybe signing him for 2 years if we can get this down. But again, around 15, it's just not feasible right now, especially with Soto's contract. So, but anyways, looking at the bullpen, really well. Well, don't know what that means. Really great. Obviously, Jalen Biggs has only pitched 1.2 innings, but just looking at just ERAs, looking real nice. Obviously, Yarbrough is stinking it up a little bit, but we're got some injuries going on, so he's kind of just hanging out as the long reliever right now. I think he can turn around after a great 2022 year. And then Jalen Biggs, like I said, is okay, but I think he'll turn around as well. They're the lefties in the organization. Let's just look. Pitchers here. Yeah, so I mean, just kind of sorting about overall here, you can see we got a good amount of depth here to come in. I would love to see again, we could, if we trade Glasnow, we have Jacob Lopez, who will be ready to go in the second half of the season at some point. He's only out for another 6 weeks, so he could really get the call up and join the starting rotation, or at least maybe a long reliever to get some major league reps out there. I don't know. So this is all questions that need to be answered. Nick Anderson's about to come back, another boost to our bullpen. Phoenix Sanders is out. I'm pretty sure he started off really not well. Never mind. He wasn't good. See, it's been a while, guys. So again, really sorry about the whole mix up here. I was really disappointed, but it's also nice to kind of get refreshed myself, just because I recorded the episodes, didn't get around to being able to edit / post them, just because of real life things going on. But yeah, so last thing, just to end off this episode, we'll look at the standings. As you can see, the AL wow, just let me try that again. The AL East doing AL East things. We are 53-32 with a 6.24 winning percentage, and we're third right now in the league, or in the division. I mean, that winning percentage puts us at first place in pretty much all but, okay, well, the NL is looking really good, but puts us first place in the rest of the AL at least, which is actually really bad. I mean, jeez. AL West, the Angels are leading with a less than 500 winning percentage, so that's not great. That's kind of like real life. Yeah, sorry if you're an Angels fan, that stinks. Anyways, but that's kind of look. Expanded standings here. I mean, according to this, we're actually getting a little unlucky. I mean, we're 500 or almost 500 on 1-run games. If you look up at the Orioles, who are getting extremely lucky, look at that, 18-3 in 1-run games, 5-0 in extra innings. That's got to catch up with them at some point. But still, I mean, hey, proud of the Orioles. We're just, the rest of the AL East banding together to shove the Yankees and Red Sox to the bottom of the division. Interesting team here too, rocking out with legendary Ray, Evan Longoria, Edmundo Sosa, and Max Muncy in the infield. Leading the way is the Adley Rutschman. But so that's a look of the team and the league. I guess real quick also, I know I was saying I was closing out the last time, but let's just take a look at the player trade. This is the beginning of July. So we have, a good month before the trade deadline. This is what the trading block is looking like. Not a whole lot of crazy big names or anything in there as of right now. I'm sure that will change getting closer to the trade deadline. But we definitely need to make some moves around. As you can see, we got no money for extensions right now because of the possibility of Soto getting paid around $25 million, if not more, in arbitration. But we also might just try to flip him again to get somebody else for a 1-year rental in the offseason. Especially, we're all in right now, going for the championship. And I spent a whole time talking about Soto in the episode that I lost. Just the decision. And hopefully you guys like it. I went back and forth wondering if that was a good Rays move or not. But hey, the Rays in real life were going after Bryant. They went after Seiya Suzuki and Freddie Freeman, offering pretty big contracts to them in the offseason. They went after they went after Kimbrel and Bryant in a trade, Suzuki, Freeman in the offseason. So I know people are definitely going to say it's not a huge Rays-like move, and I get that, but I think things are changing a little bit in Rays world, where they do realize that they got a great core that can win now. So anyways, that's it. That's it for this episode, which is covered a long period of time, from off-season recap all the way to pretty much the trade deadline. So the next episode is going to be post-trade deadline and probably all the way up to the playoffs, if not through the playoffs. Hopefully we can make the playoffs a separate episode if we make a long run. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, sorry about the delay in episodes and the whole mix up here where this episode's kind of all jumbled up just because of that. But I'm looking to get back on track. I guess I'll be gone a couple days here in the weekend, but hopefully I can get another one out shortly. So again, thank you guys all for tuning in. Show it to somebody show the video to somebody that might like, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.